Swallowed. Followed. Everybody, everything in my life. I don't know if you guys could hear all the work being done outside, and if you can, I apologize, dude. That's on me. That's on me. It's not work that's being done on my house, because if it was work being done on my house, I'd be doing it. Okay? Because I am a handyman around this place. Fucking the other day, I climbed up a ladder to trim down a tree in my backyard, which is my parents' backyard, but I live here now, so it's also my backyard. So I had to take care of it, and I couldn't get the job done. So now we're having our landscapers do it. Which I know I just said that I do the work around here, but yeah, we have landscapers. We get them at a good price because we used to be neighbors with the guy who owns the landscaping company. So we're almost getting them pro bono because we couldn't afford like the big time landscapers, you know? We couldn't afford the legal Mexicans, those ones, right? We're off the book Mexican guys. That's why I hate ICE, okay? That's why I hate ICE. Because these guys are good guys. Let them stay. They're not slinging rock. What are we talking about here? They're bringing their worst people. No, they're not. Okay? I know plenty of illegal seagulls, man, flying across the border. I know plenty of them. They're good, hardworking guys. Let them stay. I don't want to get political, but I don't think this is political, man. This might be just basic human rights. You know? What are borders? Created by the government to keep us away from certain people, right? I do miss mowing the lawn, though. I don't have to mow the lawn anymore, which I guess is good, but as a kid, I used to love mowing the lawn, pop top, wait for a pretty babe to walk by. I was like lean, skinny, so I had like six-pack abs, but it was skinny six-pack abs, which is like a fat bitch having big tits, which I heard that, saw that on Twitter or something, which I get. But also I don't get, you know? Fat bitch with titties, like she earned those titties. She ate to get those titties. So she earned those. And I didn't eat enough as a kid because we were poor to get those lean muscles on my stomach. But I think I miss mowing the lawn. It was nice. It was therapeutic. I was like giving the grass a little haircut. Was how I thought of it. You know, taking the grass to the barber shop. Meow. What would you like today, sir? 5 on the. What would you like today, yard? 5 on the fucking 1 on the sides, 5 up top. You got it, boss. I got it for you. Then I would just talk to the grass about nothing, annoyingly. You know? Because that's what being a barber's all about. That's what being a barber's all about. I remember I had a barber once who, he was like, he was something. I don't know what he was. He was something. He had an accent. Wasn't born here. But he'd watch Fox News and he'd just yell about the Jews, you know? Like they were talking about the Palestine versus Israel. He's like, what should we do? He like proposed that question to me. He's like, what should we do? I was like, excuse me? He's like, tell me, what should we do? As if I was even paying attention to the fucking Fox News. I was like, we should focus on my head and get this cut done so I get the fuck out of here. This is back when I had hair, or had enough hair to get a haircut, like a year ago or whatever it was. But yeah, let's focus on the head here, man. Let's not focus on Israel-Palestine. All right? I get it. Babies are fighting babies over there. I don't know what's going on with the babies in those countries. The babies are just going at it, as far as I know. As far as what I'm gathering from the situation, it's a baby-on-baby crime. But, guys, let's trim, snip, snip, okay? This might be my last haircut ever, and it might have been. If I recall correctly, it might have been. And it was wasted with small talk about the Jews and the Palestinians, all right? Not good. And I also could be dead wrong on the Palestinians versus Jews. It might be something else, but I think that's right, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm often wrong. Guys, when I come on this podcast, I spew nonsense. I'm not a fact guy. I'm a fat guy, but I'm not a fact guy, okay? I don't do facts. I don't work in facts. I have my own facts. I am a down-the-middle kid. I don't see left or right, you know? I see what I see. And then I come to my own conclusion on certain matters, right? So, from my point of view, it's just a bunch of Palestinian babies and Israel babies just going back and forth at it. But again, I haven't read into the full story. So apparently there's a river, something like that. Apparently there's, James, fuck you, James. You should be more educated. I'm not educated. That's the point. I was a special ed student. You guys know this about me. Okay, so don't fucking blame the special ed kid for not knowing if Palestine is even the Israel's rival. Okay? Don't blame the kid who had extra time on tests and still needed more time and still was unable to finish those tests within the fucking 7 hours I was given. I was given almost a full school day to finish one test, and I still couldn't get through it, you know? My teacher would be, I would go up to my teacher and like, I don't get this question. It'd be the first question on the test. And she'd be like, just skip it and go on to the next one. And then I'd do that, and I'd come back to her, and she'd say the same thing. Skip it and go on to the next one. Before you knew it, I just skipped every question. It was at the end of the test and was like, I guess I'll start from the top. Let's try this again. And then I'd skip through it again. And then I just started. Luckily, it was multiple choice, so I just fucking CAB. You guys know the drill. But yeah, man, I couldn't even finish. Even with guessing, I was just so in my head, I couldn't even guess. I was so nervous about getting the answer wrong for a test that I definitely didn't study for. And even if I did study, I wouldn't have been able to retain that information from studying to put it to use on the test. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, I needed help. I should have at least, all my tests should have been open book tests or open note, which honestly I still would have failed, but at least I would have been failing, like I would have been close to getting a D, you know, which my mom would have been proud of. But yeah, I failed multiple open note tests. Excuse me. I failed open note tests all the time up until college. In college, it was bad. I'm a bad note taker. Mostly because I can't read my own handwriting. My handwriting has never gotten better since I learned to write. It's never gotten better. It's scribble, scrabble, and I can't read it. Okay? Half the time I don't even know why I do this. I should just write my material on my phone, but I've been writing it in a notebook, and when I go back to check it, it's like the jokes no longer even exist. They're not real, you know? It's just scribble scrabble. It's like I'm writing in fucking Arabic or something. I think I should start writing in symbols. That would make things more clear to me. Just draw little pictures for stuff. That would be easier, but I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm smart enough to think about it, but not smart enough to put it into practice, right? But yeah, dude. It's been a minute since I posted a podcast, you know? Been on a vacation in an undisclosed location. Can't really talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end. I don't know yet. I'll just get overly emotional. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be back. This might be the third podcast I do alone, and the final podcast I do alone, because my boy Angel hit me back up and he wants to get back after it, and he could actually film something and it's not on a phone and a ring light. So that would be a breath of fresh air. Get back to doing that every time, once a week for all the podcasts. It will just look better, sound better across the board. So this is the third podcast I'm doing solo dolo with just this fucking iPhone mic, ring light, and my phone. And it might be the end of the trilogy, you know? Might be the end of the trilogy. And I'm fine with that. Because I don't particularly, I have a speech impediment, guys, and it's coming back. I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I was in speech classes. You guessed it. Of course I was in speech classes. I was in fucking special ed. That just comes with the territory. So I have a fucking, you know, I can't even think of words sometimes. That's how bad my speech impediment is. So I can't even think of words, you know, and I'm afraid to say it. I'm afraid to even attempt to say some words, mostly the N-word, but I'm afraid to attempt most words because I don't know if I'm going to say it correctly, right? That's a speech impediment, right? But good thing I have a podcast, you know. Good thing I could barely speak and I have a podcast. That just goes to show that everyone has a fucking podcast. And you know what, guys? Can we cut back on the podcast? Let me shine. All right, I'm a special ed student. Let me shine here. I'm tired of this. All right, you smart people don't need podcasts. All right, just go teach science in high school. All right, if you're that smart. Don't come in front of a camera and talk about science stuff, making it cool for the kids. Go fucking boots on the ground in the high schools and teach it to kids face to face. All right, don't steal away my viewers. Because that's who's stealing away all my viewers. They're fucking, you know? People used to come here all the time and watch me. Maybe they were watching me ironically because I was just so stupid. I was like a caged animal, and they were just like watching me, inspecting me. But now they're like, oh, this guy's too dumb. Let me go into someone smarter. Let me go to the science section. It's like, guys, stick with the speech impediment. Stick with the dumb comedy, guys. I need you. I love you, and I need you. Baby, come back. You could put it all on me. I wish I was good at singing. I think if I had a good voice, I would never talk again. I would only sing, you know? I think I've talked about this before. Maybe this exact bit. I can't remember. Yeah, I did. I think I did. So let's not run with it. But yeah. Book note on that. Bookmark on that. If I had a good voice, I would only sing to people. At a level where they would want to shoot me in the head. Because it's so annoying. You know? I don't like musicals. And everyone's like, how can you not like musicals? They're so beautiful. It's like West Side Story, like, gangsters don't sing and dance like that, man. I mean, there's rappers that are gangsters and they sing and dance. But not like, we're gonna get Johnny down at the club. I said, we're gonna get Johnny and he's gonna give up. And now it's like, no one, that's not a real thing. You know, the Vipers versus the Mexican Vipers. I can't remember how that movie went. I've never seen it. So, and that's the thing. I've never seen a single musical. I just hate them. You guys ever do that? You guys ever hate something that you've never even done or tried? I guess it just makes me a natural born hater. Call me Bill Hader. But yeah, dude, there's foods. I've never had sushi, and I will die on this hill that sushi sucks. And I know it's a hot take. Everybody loves sushi. Everybody loves sushi. Not this guy. All right? Not this muchacho. Or whatever language they speak, you know? I just can't get down with it, dude. I just don't like the idea of eating something raw. You know? Even in the bedroom, dude, I've always used a condom. I'm not a raw kid. Bedroom or at a sushi place. I remember I went to a sushi bar with like my friends. I just got like, I ordered off the kids menu. I got like chicken nuggets at a sushi restaurant. That's just my vibe. They unfortunately didn't have chocolate milk. Otherwise, I would have been set. Chicken fingers and chocolate milk, I could live off of. Those are my main cuisines, right? If I was on death row, it would be chicken fingers and chocolate milk, all right? Chicken fingers and chocolate milk, y'all. Would I dip the chicken finger in the chocolate milk? I'm not a crazy person. However, I am on death row, probably for a cool-ass, badass crime that's being misconstrued as me being in the wrong, but actually I'm in the right because I like saved the whole family or something. And then I had to hand-to-hand combat with some guy and I killed him. And then they threw me in prison for life and put me on death row because this happened out of the state of New York. So they threw me on the death penalty. They threw me the death penalty, and that's why I'm eating chicken fingers and chocolate milk. But I'm not crazy, so I wouldn't dip it in the thing. But maybe that's genius, you know? Was the black dude who invented peanut butter crazy? We're gonna take these peanut balls and turn them into butter now. That's not how he sounded. There's no way. I don't even know what that accent was. Again, for the 30,000th time on this program, I don't do accents and impressions because they're gay. Why are they gay? Because I can't do them. Anything I can't do is gay. I don't care. I can't dunk a basketball anymore. That's gay. Everyone in the NBA is closeted. Okay? Everybody in the NBA is closeted. Anyone who could dunk a ball is closeted. Right? That's so macho, tough guy. Sports. You're gay. Alright? It's enough. Pretty much the whole population's gay. Because I can't do a lot of different things, you know. Can't do a lot of different things. I'm the only straight guy in the world. Yeah, I'm the only straight guy. Anyone who has a girlfriend right now, it's their beard. It's their beard, man. I don't need a beard. You know? I'm a mustache guy. I mustache you a question. You want to go out with me? They always say no. Because I'm not the most handsome guy. I get it. I once was pretty decent looking. You know? I once was. No longer am. I understand that. I'm past my prime. Past my prime. Because I ate way too many prime ribs and I gained a lot of ribs. I gained a lot of weight. Right? And chicks don't like a guy with a little extra cushion. They always say, "Oh, the dad bods are in." Like, no, they're not. I've got a no kid dad bod. No kid dad bod. I'm just a kidless dad with a kidless dad bod. And it doesn't appeal to anybody. Because on top of having a kidless dad bod, I also have a pasty white skin, which is that of a stick of glue, you know? Stick of glue. They used to call me Elmer's in high school. Wasn't a fan of that. Now they call me Elmer Fudd because I'm having a battle with the rabbits that are tearing through my mom's garden. This town, the town I live in on Long Island, has a rabbit infestation, if that's the proper word. Again, speech impediment. So, been dealing with this wily wabbit for quite some time. You know? It's a serious issue. I get it. Rabbits are cool. Rabbits are funny. Rabbits fuck on the regular. They're always banging each other. That's cool. Good for the rabbits. But don't fuck with my mom's garden, dude. Don't do it. You know? Hop away. Do the right thing and hop away. Go to the neighbor's garden. They've got a lot better selection of fruits and vegetables. No fruits. I don't know why I said fruits, but they definitely have better vegetables. We only have the tomato plant, which we can't afford to lose that because that's how we feed ourselves. Okay? All we have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner are tomatoes. Every single day. We can't afford the grocery store because of inflation. I don't even know if inflation is still a thing. Is it still a thing? It might be. Again, I don't pay attention to the news. James, you're so uninformed. All right. Cool, man. I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. Ignorance is bliss, right? So, I don't care. You know? Never a big fan of that stuff. But, yeah, these rabbits are crazy. These rabbits, these bunnies. Which, back when I was good looking, I used to have a Playboy bunny infestation in my room. All the time, dude. They were just hopping around in here on my bed having pillow fights. That's just the life I lived, right? Swear to God. You think I'd lie about that? We had all the centerfolds were in here, in this very room. They came to my parents' house when I was in my prime. That's how good my game was with the babes. I got Miss March, Miss April, May, June, July, August. I got all the summer babes. I didn't fuck with the fall ones. I didn't fuck with the winter ones. Those ones were always Russian for some reason. And yeah, the winter centerfold babes were all over this chomp. You know? That's why there's so many marks on this wall. They're trying to escape. No, I'm just kidding. They were trying to get me. They were trying to play. We were playing tag and stuff, and they were trying to attack. They were pretty vicious, you know. They were more vicious than the rabbits in my parents' garden. But anyway, fuck rabbits, and fuck Playboy bunnies. Seriously, where was I? I don't know. Nobody knows, and it's not about knowing. It's about believing. Write that down, please. If nothing else, you get this. You get this from this podcast. It's not about knowing. It's about believing. Okay. I'm starting to relearn piano again. I used to know how to play piano when I was a kid. NISMA, 24 out of 26. I would have got a 26 out of 26, which is prodigy level. But I couldn't read music for jack shit. I would just mimic my teacher and then memorize it from there. Which is partially is kind of low-key kind of genius, in a way. You know? So maybe I shouldn't have been in those special ed classes because maybe I was a secret genius. They should have made a Nickelodeon show about me when I was in middle school. Secret genius. I just play retarded and then behind fucking the scenes I'm solving random equations on boards while I'm janitoring as a side job as a kid. You know? I was like a little Good Will Hunting. Good Lil Hunting, they'd call me. There goes Good Lil Hunting. Solving mysteries and crimes and math problems and all that secret stuff. But the school thinks you're stupid. But by golly, he's a secret genius. Now let's start the show. Yeah, I could have been a secret genius. But yeah, I'm starting to learn piano again, which is it's definitely good. Like it's actually good for my brain because like memory is involved, and I have a shitty memory, so it's actually helped with my memory a little bit, and just my overall brain capacity. My brain power's up. I'm powered up with the brain stuff, and it's not just because of this. Which this episode of the James Lennon podcast is brought to you by creatine. Yeah, I'm taking creatine. Did I put that out there on purpose just to let you guys know I'm taking creatine? Yeah, I did. Is there a problem with that? No. I'm just faster, smarter, harder, stronger. Faster, smarter, harder, stronger. I'm so hard, dude. I'm hard right now. No Blue Chew. I've been hard for 7 hours. Not even one Blue Chew. Not a Rhino pill from the gas station, nothing. Just creatine. Okay? Creatine. Right? So, it's good. It's good stuff. Again, this episode of the James Lennon podcast is brought to you by just creatine. No brand related, just creatine. Shout out creatine. I love it. It's great. But yeah, starting to relearn piano, and I now know the first 15 seconds of 3 songs, because after the first 15 seconds of each of the songs I'm trying to learn, it gets hard, and then I quit. And I move on to another song. I'm like, this song will be easier, and then it just ends up being harder than the last one. Like, I started trying to learn fucking It's a Sign of the Times by Harry Styles. Low-key banger. I didn't even know he sang that. And it's a great song. It makes me cry. And yes, I cry. Okay? I cry like a little baby. Chicks dig it. Okay? Chicks dig it. The last time I got a date is because I was crying on a park bench alone, because my parents had temporarily kicked me out of the house and I had to sleep outside. Okay? And some chick saw me crying and was like, I love you. I was like, okay. And then like we sat down and talked for a while, and then the tears stopped, and then she was like, ugh, you're a lot better looking as a crier than you are as a non-crier, and walked away, and I was humiliated. And then I slept outside with a pigeon, my friend the pigeon, Petey the pigeon. He was a good guy, construction worker. He had to be out early in the morning, but we kept each other company. Good job. He was a good guy. He couldn't give me a job on the pigeon construction shit because I'm not a pigeon, so I didn't meet any of the requirements. Couldn't fly, couldn't eat bread off a dirty floor, the ground, aka the ground. I believe they're calling dirty floors the ground. So yeah. But yeah, back to the piano. I know the first 10 seconds of 3 songs. Started with Sign of the Times by Harry Styles, which I fucking love. Then I moved to Someday by The Strokes, which I got probably like 20 seconds of. I got decently far in that. And then it started going like, I don't even know, like the movement was too fast and I couldn't keep up. And I was like, this song sucks. Anyway, I hate this song. I low-key love it. I love The Strokes. Shout out The Strokes. And then I'm trying to learn Feeling Alright, the cover song by Joe Cocker. Ba-na-na-na, 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 ba-na-na-na. That one I didn't get too far into because that's just hard off the bat. I wish I tried learning another instrument, like something obscure, because guitars and pianos, those are the 2 instruments everyone goes for. Those are the chick getters, right? Those are the chick getters. Those get you the babes, right? But I wish I went the other way and went obscure with it and learned like, I don't know, the trumpet. Imagine me at a campfire and I just whip out my trumpet, start playing Wonderwall. Boop, boop, doop, doop, boo. That's a horrible trumpet. Again, I don't do accents or impressions. I can't even impersonate a trumpet. I can't do it. I can't do it. But imagine I was just sitting around a campfire and I pull out a trumpet, start doing the song where they play at the end of a army guy's funeral. I would get negative pussy, which is okay. I do it for the art form. I would do it for the trumpet art form. And I'm sure there's one female trumpet player out there that I could connect with, right? Again, speech impediment. But yeah, man. Let me add the trumpet. But no, I got to learn the piano. I got to conform to the normalities of society, right? Bullshit. It's not even who I am, man. Unbelievable. This podcast is going nowhere, by the way. I don't even know if I'll release this. You know what I noticed recently, though, is, speaking of being obscure, is the deep cut assholes. You know those guys? You'll play like a popular song by a band, let's say like Jumper by Third Eye Blind, and they'll be like, yeah, you're playing Jumper by Third Eye Blind? You don't even know the deep cuts? Yeah, I didn't even know the deep cuts, man. You didn't know Campfire by Third Eye Blind? Yeah. Cue it up. Actually, change this song that you just played and it just started. Change that immediately. It's not a deep cut. Hey, man, you gotta play the deep cuts. It's like, dude, shut your fucking mouth. All right? I have plenty of deep cuts on my phone. I can play deep cuts when the moment's right. I don't brag about knowing deep cuts. I'm not a loser, right? Because people are always like, yeah, fucking, I don't know. Fucking Can I Be Your Hero Baby by Enrique Iglesias is like fine, but do you guys know is like the Spanish version of his other albums? I'm sure he has some Spanish songs that I don't know about personally, but I'm sure his deep cuts are to die for. So you should probably play some Enrique Iglesias deep cuts that I don't know yet, but I will now. Just give me a day. It's like, shut up, dude. Let me play I Can Be Your Hero Baby. I can be your hero. That song is a great song. I could fall in love to that song. It's like one of those songs. You know those songs that you can fall in love to? Like This Magic Moment. This Magic Moment. Or maybe Benny King. Maybe Stand By Me. Does that count as a falling in love song? I don't know. I think This Magic Moment's the best one, though. Like, fucking anybody. I could fall in love with anybody if This Magic Moment is playing. If This Magic Moment is going on in my radio and I'm driving around the city and I come across a homeless lady, I might pick her up. That's how far I'm willing to go. I might pick her up and then the song ends and I'll be like beating her out of the car with a stick because that love will end. It's a 4-minute love. It's probably 3-minute and 30-second love. You know? Which is all I need, baby. Okay? We can talk for the rest of the 2 minutes that we have together. You know what I mean? But, yeah, This Magic Moment's a great falling in love song. But the deep cut assholes will probably be like, you don't know This Magic Moment by the Drifters? That's all you know? That's the only song you know by them? First of all, what are you, racist? You only listen to their popular songs? You a racist guy? You don't know the deep cuts of this all-black band? Okay? I'm like, dude, I will do my hardest to vote for Trump a third time if you keep coming at me with these deep cuts and calling me racist for only knowing the good songs by the Drifters. Shut your mouth. Immediately, actually. Sorry, this is my third coffee. I'm all jacked up today. You know what it is. But like, you guys know the deep cut assholes. They won't listen to their favorite band's top 5 songs on Spotify because they think it's like taboo almost from their perspective. Why would I want to listen to a song that everyone knows? To try to act cool. They've got like their bitch girlfriend with them who like works at a tattoo parlor. She's all tatted up, but like not the cool tats that like real tattoo people get. She just has like a crescent moon on her forearm. And she's always like backing him up. Like, yeah, you tell him, Jeremy. Tell him about the deep cuts, Jeremy. You're turning me on so bad. Jeremy, keep going about the deep cuts. You got it, babe. They almost sound exactly the same, but like a little different. You got it, babe. Jeremy, tell him about the deep cuts. Babe, I got this. You ever hear of a band called The Lumineers? Of course you have. You probably only know their top 5 songs on Spotify. But what you don't know is their deep cuts. The deep cuts that aren't even on the albums yet. You know? Like, I know about their songs. I know about their demo tapes. Okay? You ever hear the song Horses Love Hay by The Lumineers? No, you haven't. Because you're not on the deep cut website like I am. Okay? You're not a deep cut member. Because you don't know the deep cuts. Tell them, Jeremy. Yeah, I am telling them. Shut up. She's got like fucking fake stars on her fucking on her wrist. So like they're all scattered around. She's like, I've got like fucking 30 tattoos. I have like 30 tattoos, which you think is a lot, but they're all like this big and they're all scattered around her body. So basically, she just got like extra freckles. That's all, you know. Which I could never get a tattoo because I have so many freckles, right? I could connect the dots a little bit. Maybe that'd make some sort of pattern. But again, I also have so many freckles. I would just be doing black body, which is bad. I think it's not as bad as black face because it's not as obvious. But black body is just as bad. Okay, it's a close second to black face, and I don't want to be accused of black body ever. But she's still like, Jeremy, tell him, Jeremy. Jeremy, I'm gonna give you the sickest tattoo after this. It's gonna be like a wave in a lake, but it's gonna be really miniature. Shut up, whatever her name is. But yeah, these deep cut assholes need to get a life. Right? Get a life, guys. Like, I know, hand up, dude. I know deep cuts, but I'm not bragging about it. Why? Because I'm a calm, cool, collected dude. Right? Probably the calmest, coolest, collected dude ever. If you think about it. It's like me and Jeff Bridges. Yeah, man. Jeff Bridges is so cool, dude. I wish I was Jeff Bridges. That's who I would trade places with. He's just been married for 50 years. He's happy. He's got a full head of hair. Decent looking guy. Phenomenal actor. Oscar winner. Just vibing, man. Yeah, man. Man. I'm the dude, man. I can't do impressions or accents, dude. You get it. You're the dude, man. Yeah, I wish I was Jeff Bridges. I wish I was as cool as him. He just is the dude. You guys ever notice that? Any Jeff Bridges fans out there? You guys ever just notice that he just is the Big Lebowski? No, he's not the Big Lebowski. See, I know the movie. The Big Lebowski's the dude in the wheelchair. He's the dude. El Duderino, right? All right, if you're into the whole brevity type of thing, right? He just is him. Like if you listen to him in an interview, he just sounds exactly like his character in The Big Lebowski, who is the coolest character of all time, probably. He's got to be up there. It's probably him or Nicholson. Nicholson's probably got one of the coolest characters ever, whether it be like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or he was cool in Chinatown too. I like my nose. I like breathing through it. You guys probably don't even know that. 1974, Chinatown, directed by a pedophile who's not even allowed in this country, but got a standing ovation when he won an Oscar for directing The Pianist. Insane. That's how insane Hollywood is. This guy couldn't show up to Hollywood to accept his Oscar for The Pianist starring Adrian Brody because he's banned from this country for dating a 13-year-old. And then Quentin Tarantino was like, it wasn't rape, man. He was like code switching back and forth. His brain was like malfunctioning. It wasn't rape. It was consensual. It's like it was with the 13-year-old. Consensually. Shut up, Tarantino. Also, leave Paul Dano alone. I know that was months ago, but leave Paul Dano alone. All right? He's a good actor. He was fucking good in There Will Be Blood. What are you talking about that ruined the movie? He was good. You know? I think he was good. I thought he was really good. He also was good in the Beach Boys movie, which I can't remember the name of. It's like Heart and Soul or something like that. Hustle and Flow, maybe? Is that the Beach Boys movie? Hustle and Flow? I don't know. Yeah, he's a good actor, dude. Leave him alone, Tarantino. But back to the pedophile guy, and then back to the... yeah. That's how delusional Hollywood is. They gave him a standing ovation. The man who literally wasn't there for dating a 13-year-old. And also they clapped. Did they give Will Smith a standing ovation when he won the Oscar after slapping Chris Smith? Chris Smith? What am I, a fucking moron? I'm on a new medicine that makes my memory a little foggy. Get over it, get with it, keep up. Chris Rock. Did he get a standing O? Also, he wasn't even that good in that. Hand up, dude. I didn't like that movie. I also hate Will Smith. I love some of his movies. He's got some blockbuster classics. I will say that. I'll give him that. Independence Day. Great. You know, Men in Black. Great. But I just don't like the man. Which is, honestly, I feel like most people shouldn't. And Jada Pinkett Smith sucks too. Right? Bald ass motherfucker. You heard? I alopecia ass having motherfucker. Yeah, I hate Will Smith. Almost as much as the pedophile director. I don't know. I'll think about that and get back to you. My mom's been jamming. I mean, for literally the last 20 years, my mom's been doing this. It's just, she started off with a TV in her bedroom when she first wakes up. She turns on MSNBC, right? Which I'm ashamed of because I don't like politics either way. I don't like Fox News. I don't like MSNBC. Rachel Maddow haunts my dreams, you know? When I worked at SNL, I saw her outside 30 Rock, on crutches. And I shit you not, as I was walking by, I thought, what if I kicked one of those crutches out? We'd be even. We'd be even for all the torture she put me through by having to listen to her on her own show because my mom is watching TV in the fucking in her bedroom, you know, and I could hear it because I'm in the room next door. For fucking 20 years, this has been happening. Rachel Maddow's a fraud, you know. She's probably not even a real lesbian. Fuck what her haircut says. I don't believe it. This chick fucks dudes, okay? She's a lesbian for show. She's one of those, okay? She's a best in show lesbian, you know. She's lesbian when the cameras are on. But when they're off, she's gobbling cock. All right? I guarantee it. She fucks fucking, you know, Tucker Carlson. She's banging him on the side. I guarantee it. As they laugh for faking out the entire country, right? They just laugh. They call each other after their shows end and they just laugh to each other. Ha 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 ha. Ah, woohoo. Yippee. Let's fuck. You got it, Buster. That was Rachel Maddow. No, she's definitely a les. I saw her in the purse. I saw her in the flesh. She smelt of hot dogs and rim jobs, so she must have been a les. But I regret not kicking that fucking crutch out underneath her. Not because she's a lesbian, but again, because she's haunted my dreams for fucking 20 years. So my mom will listen to the MSNBC in her room, leave that on, then go downstairs and forget about the TV that's on upstairs, put on MSNBC again, right? And then she's moving around. Then she's got it on the iPad. And I'm getting it from 3 different places, okay? And then there's a little bit of a delay between each one. So it'll just be like Rachel Maddow, which I know isn't in the morning, but when she does it at night, it's like, I don't even know if Rachel Maddow has a show anymore. This is just from the past. It would just be like, the Democrats are good and every Republican's racist and mean. They're all mean to me. They make fun of my haircut. And then I'd walk slightly downstairs and hear fucking, the Democrats are good and the Republicans are racist and mean. All the Republicans are racist and mean. And then I'd walk by her fucking iPad. Fucking Democrats are good and Republicans are racist and mean. And I was like, Mom, if you're trying to convert me into being a liberal, you failed. I'm more Republican than I've ever been. Just based off listening to her. You know, I gave Tucker Carlson a try. That's how Republican I got. But then I realized that they're the same fucking person. And I'm just down the middle kid. Fuck either side. If you're far left, far right, you're an insane person probably. I think it's okay to be left. I think it's okay to be right. But if you're far extreme, you're nuts. And if you think that I'm a nut job for just being down the middle, you're even crazier. You know? Because I think you got to see both sides of the issues. You got to see both sides of the aisle. That's about as political as I'll get. But yeah, MSNBC mom sucks. You know? My mom was ahead of her time. She used to dress me in women's clothes growing up when I was in middle school. Mostly because I had an older sister and we were too poor to afford clothes. So I had to use my sister's hand-me-downs, you know? Had the sweatpants with pink written across the butt, little crop top, butterfly hair clips. I looked pretty good. I even wore my sister's old perfume, which smelled of fucking, I don't even know. Whatever a teenage girl smells like. Ew. I don't even like that I said that, but whatever. So I was a trans kid, technically. At a young age. I persevered. Okay? I learned that wasn't the way. Or that just wasn't the path for me. I'm all cool with trans people. I don't even fucking... As long as kids aren't getting surgeries and shit, like... Let them rock, dude. Let them live. Right? Yeah, I'm a pretty liberal guy. I guess MSNBC did get to me. You know? I guess that old fucking carpet muncher fucking... I hate that I said that. But, yeah, dude. I'm just a fucking cool liberal guy. Everyone thinks I'm a Republican based on my everything about me. But I'm not. You know? But, anyway, that's going to be it for this week's episode. I rambled on. I talked fast. I talked a lot about nothing. I had a bunch of stumbles with my words. And it's because I'm on coffee and I got a speech impediment. So, thank you for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Be good.